In the ancient Kingdom of Nri, where the fertile lands stretched endlessly and the rivers flowed with the rhythm of life, there lived a noble prince named Obinna, known to his people as Obi. He was the embodiment of strength and grace, with skin the color of deep ebony and eyes that sparkle with intelligence and warmth. As the first son of Eze Nnamdi, Obi was destined to lead his people, a responsibility he wore with pride, but also a growing sense of conflict. Eze Nnamdi, the king of Nri, was a man of great wisdom and authority. His tall, imposing figure was often draped in flowing Isiagu robes, embroidered with patterns symbolizing power and protection. His voice carried the weight of years spent in leadership, resonating like a thunderclap through the palace halls. His gaze, sharp and calculating, missed nothing. As he sat on his throne, carved from the finest Iroko wood, he considered not just the present, but the future of his kingdom, a future that depends on alliance and careful choices. Obi's betrothed was Adaora, the daughter of a neighboring kingdom's Eze. Adaora was renowned for her beauty and poise, with skin as smooth as the finest silk and eyes that shone like the brightest stars. Her hair adorned with coral beads framed her face with elegance. Her movements were graceful, her voice like a melody, and her mind sharp with the knowledge of her royal duties. She was the perfect queen-to-be, embodying everything the kingdom needed for stability and prosperity. However, despite her many virtues, Adaora was not the one who held Obi's heart. That place belonged to Amaka, a slave girl of extraordinary beauty and resilience. She had been captured during a raid on a distant village and brought to palace, where she served in the shadows. Her presence, though humble, was impossible to ignore. Her skin glowed like the sun-drenched earth after rain, and her eyes, dark and deep, held 1,000 untold stories. Though her life was filled with toil, her spirit remained unbroken. She carried herself with a quiet dignity that captivated Obi and stirred feelings he struggled to suppress. One day, as Obi strode through the palace gardens, where the scents of hibiscus filled the air, he heard a soft melody. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm golden light over the leaves and flowers, and the shadows grew long and inviting. Following the sound, he found Amaka kneeling by the udala tree, her fingers gently brushing the petals of a blossoming flower. Her voice, though soft, was rich with emotion, weaving through the air like a delicate breeze. The world seemed too slow around Obi as he watched her, something deep within him stirring, a feeling he had never known before. From that day on, Obi found himself returning to the gardens, drowned by the mystery and strains of the girl who worked there. Their encounters, at first brief and wordless, soon blossomed into secret conversations. Amaka spoke of her homeland, a place far from Nri, where the rivers were clear and the people lived in harmony with the land. Her voice, like honey, sweet and smooth, painted vivid captures in Obi's mind, making him long to protect her, to give her the life she deserved. But palace walls have ears, and the whispers of their forbidden love soon spread like wildfire. Servants who once bowed low and kept their eyes to the ground now stole glances filled with curiosity and judgment. The rumors reached Nnamdi, who sat on his throne, his mind heavy with the knowledge that his son's future was entangled in a dangerous affair. The king, seated in his grand hall, where the walls were adorned with symbols of his reign, listened with a heart weighed down by the burden of leadership. He loved his son, but he knew that Obi's destiny was to lead the people of Nri, and that destiny could not be compromised by a love that would be seen as a weakness. Obinna, the king called one evening, his voice echoing through the great hall. Obi entered, his heart pounding, knowing that his secret had been discovered. The air in the room was thick with tension, the flickering flames of oil lamps casting ominous shadows on the walls. "You are the future of this kingdom," Nnamdi began, his tone stern but laced with a father's concern. "Your actions have consequences beyond your own desires. You must marry Adaora, for our alliance with her kingdom is crucial. Amaka is a distraction, a dangerous one." Obi looked into his father's eyes, feeling the weight of the crown he was destined to wear pressing down on him. "Father," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotions, "I know my duty, but I cannot deny my heart. Amaka is not just a slave, she is a woman of incredible strength and wisdom. I love her." The king's expression softened, if only for a moment. He saw the determination in his son's eye, a reflection of his own youth, and felt a pang of regret for what he was about to do. But his resolve did not waver. "You will marry Adaora," Nnamdi said, his voice unyielding. "Amaka must be sent away from Nri. This is the only way." Adaora, though not unaware of the situation, approached Obi with understanding. She had heard rumors and felt the distance growing between them. One evening, under the cover of dusk, she found him by the udala tree, where he often went to think. The evening air was cool, carrying the scent of wet earth and distant fires. The sky was a deep indigo, the first stars beginning to twinkle. "Obi," she said softly, her voice like a gentle scream, "I know you do not love me, not in the way you love her, but we have a duty to our people, and I will stand by you no matter what." Obi looked at Adaora, appreciating her grace and kindness. Her words, though painful, were a balm to his troubled soul. "You deserve a husband who loves you with all his heart," he said, his voice heavy with guilt. "But my heart belongs to Amaka." That night, Obi and Amaka made a fateful decision. They would leave Nri together, escaping to a place where their love could thrive, far from the expectations of royalty. As the moonlight bathed the palace in a silvery glow, they slipped through the gates, their hearts filled with hope and fear. The path before them was dark, the air heavy with the scent of night-blooming flowers, and the distant croaks of frogs. Their hands, clasped tightly together, were the only warmth they felt as they ventured into the unknown. But as they reached the outskirts of the kingdom, the cool night air filled with the scent of earth and distant fires, they were intercepted by the king's guards. Eze Nnamdi had foreseen their plan and could not allow it to unfold. The guards surrounded them, their faces hidden in shadow. The sound of their approach was like the rustling of leaves, soft but ominous. Amaka was seized, her cries piercing the night, while Obi was held back, his heart breaking as he watched the woman he loved being torn from him. Will Obi find a way to defy his father and save Amaka, or will the kingdom's demand tear them apart forever? Watch the part 2 of this video and get your questions answered. If you're a lover of African folktales, do well to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever we post a video like this. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.